I'm planning on cutting my work week down to 2 days and starting to collect Social Security at 62. On paper, I think it works. But before I actually do it, I'm going to test it first. From now until I turn 62 in December, I'm going to live like I've already cut my hours and started taking Social Security. The same amount of money I expect to receive, the same amount I'll have to pay bills. And anything I would usually make over that amount, I'm going to stick it in savings and pretend it doesn't exist. Because I'd rather find out if this plan doesn't work now rather than after I've already cut my hours. If you're new here, I'm 61 years old and I didn't exactly do a great job of preparing for retirement. I don't have a 7-figure retirement account and I'm not sitting on a big pension. My plan is basically Social Security, a small pension, and continuing to work, just a whole lot less than I do now. Ideally, about 16 hours a week. I've run the numbers enough times that I think we can make that work. But there's a big difference between looking at numbers on paper and, actually living them. So instead of guessing, I'm going to spend the next few months finding out. I'm going to treat my income like I've already cut my hours. I'll use only the part of my paycheck that equals 16 hours a week. Then I'll add from that amount the amount I expect to get from Social Security. Everything else I earn from my job gets put into a savings and, treated like it's not even there. I'm still earning it. I'm not throwing it away. And I think doing this for several months is going to tell me a lot more than trying it out for just a week or two. I mean, 1 month could be really easy or unusually expensive. But after doing it for several months, real life has a chance to happen. The cars might need repairs, something around the house might break, a bill I forget might pop up. We might happen to spend more than I expected we would. And when those things happen, I can't just say, well, there's that money in savings I set aside, I'll use some of that. That would defeat the purpose. I want to know what it actually feels like when the household has to operate on the amount of money I expect to have after I cut back my hours. Well, there's really 3 possible outcomes. The first one is the one I'm hoping for. We get through these next few months, everything works out, and we still have some breathing room. And then I realize this plan might actually work. The second possibility is that technically it works, but it's too tight. Maybe every unexpected expense becomes a problem. Maybe there just isn't enough buffer. If that happens, I'll have to adjust the plan. Maybe I'll work a little more than 16 hours. Maybe I'll need another source of income. Maybe there's another bill I need to get rid of first. And then there's the third possibility. It just doesn't work. And if that's the case, I need to know that too. What I don't want to do is convince myself this is going to work just because I really want it to. That's also why I decided not to rush into filing for Social Security. I have some time before I turn 62. I was going to file on the first day I was eligible to file, but I've decided I'm going to test it first. By the time December rolls around, I won't just have numbers on paper telling me whether this should work. I'll have several months of actually living it. And I think that's going to make this pretty interesting. I'll show you how it's going, what surprises me, where I screw up, and where I have to change. And whether this plan starts feeling easier as we go or it gets harder. Because that's really what One Less Workday is about. I don't have to leave my job tomorrow. I just want to need it a little less and less each day. And sometime around December, I should have a pretty good answer to the question I've been asking for a long time. Can I actually afford to work only 2 days a week? I guess we're going to find out.